All right, here we are at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, and I would say that's very how to behave. We've got a collection of cars, probably valued at over $500 million here. And some of these cars are the rarest, oldest, or most powerful, most creative. I mean, what kind of cars do we expect to see here?
Well, we're here at the Ferrari Maserati tent, so there's obviously a collaboration between these two. I mean, we're going to see a combination of the most cutting-edge, high-end, highest performance vehicles mixed with some of their older, really vintage classic cars.
Yeah, but the thing that I always like to see is these guys that, they took 50 years, they restored this thing, it was sitting out behind the shed, and now all of a sudden they fixed the thing up and it's worth $1 million.
Well, that definitely ties into our whole theme about fabricated cool and just cool. See, fabricated cool is when you go out and you buy the really expensive brand new Ferrari. Actually being cool is when you find one that's ditched in somebody's garage and you dig it out from underneath the shed and you rebuild it because it used to be a water pump and now it's a badass Ferrari from 1912.
And it's totally cherry beautiful. Wait till you guys see some of these cars. They're amazing.
Some of the cars that you'll find at the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance is this concept car by Saturn. So the idea is that they want to spark interest in consumers to actually think that Saturn is actually a cool brand. And when you go down and you buy the other Saturn, you think of this.
I do like the no haggle pricing. Okay, so now this looks like another example of a concept car, because this is not, you can't go out and buy this Jeep Hurricane, can you?
Well, anything's for sale, but realistically this isn't a production car made for consumers. It actually has the front and rear wheels that will turn on its own axis so that it can do a complete 360 on the center axis of the car.
You're telling me that this thing is designed to do donuts?
That's right.
So tell me what a Maybach is.
Maybach is the flagship brand, or mark as we like to refer to it, of Mercedes-Benz. It's really for a very, very select consumer. In fact, most people who buy a Maybach don't actually drive a Maybach, and that's because it comes with its own driver. If you look closely, the projector of the actual xenon headlight has a Maybach logo there, so when it's driving down the street, everybody knows you're driving a Maybach.
I haven't heard of a Spiker. Maybe you could tell me a little bit about these cars?
Spiker, we've been here now for 4 years. Every year we come with the concept car, and then the year after it will be a road version car, a W12 engine, and we'll have a top speed of 215 miles, and we'll do 0 to 60 in 3.8. It is fully customized, so if one doesn't like this particular cockpit, then we can work with them because we don't have no in our vocabulary. So whatever you want, we can do.
If you'll notice, what appears to be just an outlet for a fog light, it's actually also an air intake to cool the brakes.
So tell me, how'd you come to acquire this beautiful automobile?
This car has had a bit of a checkered career in Australia. It was imported into Australia with 7 other cars in about 1921. It was found by some jackaroos, some guys who rounded up cattle in North Queensland, and they used it to chase cattle around the property, so they wrecked it basically. It ended up as a water pump on a farm property, and then it was found in the 60s and restored. And we purchased it about 4 years ago.
How well did it work as a water pump?
Oh, fantastic, yeah, apparently it was very faithful. We felt this being the oldest Alfa Romeo in the world, it should be here. And if you look down here, you'll see Alfa Romeo, the hyphen. This is the only Alfa Romeo in the world with a hyphen in the name. After this, they left out the hyphen, just became Alfa Romeo 2. It's a relatively fast car. Delightful to drive, very light in the body, big torquey engine, so it really performs well.
Jump in there. Yeah.
That's where you put your in-law. That's where you put your...
No. We like Italian.
The black one, I forgot what it was called, but it has round doors on it. Did you see that one? Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. That would be my choice.
Thanks out. I think it's pretty good that they came up with electric starters. I think that was a good invention.
The other thing is that the fuel was such low quality back when these cars were first produced that they had to have really, really high compression. So the cylinders, if they didn't start and kick backwards, it would really rip your arm right out of the socket.
I am Alma Hill, and my husband won here Best of Show 50 years ago, and he won the race, the road race in the forest 50 years ago. His name is Phil Hill.
What's your favorite thing you've seen so far this year?
People.
What's the flavor?
Some young men.
Yeah. How are you? I'm Brett.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Thank you. I like yours. You guys are looking good. You're styling out in the Rolls-Royce hospitality area. What's your favorite Rolls Royce here? If you had one that you'd like to, pick out for the next addition to your collection, what would it be?
Well, anything that I purchase has to go through Beverly Hills Rolls Royce, and the gentleman here is JC, who sold me 2 Phantoms so far.
And where's your favorite place to drive?
My favorite thing is to not drive at all. So that's why I like the Phantom, because I don't have to drive.
So is that because is he driving, or do you have a separate driver? Do you go out and have nice picnics? What do you like to do?
I mean, I think it just depends. If you need a driver, then you need a driver if you're going out for the night. But if you're just driving around during the day, I think it's become more and more acceptable right now for people to drive. I've seen some of my friends have one and their boyfriends drive and they just hang out, or it just depends on what the occasion.
Even women too driving?
You know what? I gotta say, I don't think it's a woman's car to drive. I personally don't think I would drive it, no. I like to take off my shoes and just rub my feet in the carpet and then soft, comfy, and relax.
Personally, I think seersucker is the only way to go. Don't you think?
Oh, you're the man.
Beautiful.
Get over here.
I think we need to get a picture of us. And you've got the driving goggles. I love those with the shades on top. It's perfect. I don't know, meeting girls, they just get drunk and be a maniac like we are. Hey, Dad, can you drive this up for freshman year, rolling up to the dorm?
Skis right. We'll put the skis right in the back here. We're going to be fine.
All right, so it looks like you guys are drunk and happy at the Concours over here. How's that? Fair, accurate description?
That was pretty fair.
Build a kegerator
Now
into it.
this is a college student also, University of Vermont.
Mom, are we there yet?
You guys, do you feel like a partnership? Tell
Yeah,
me
we're
about this
partners.
car.
We're the Off Brothers, Jack
Okay.
and Jerk. You've probably heard of us.
Yeah, you do a show called Car Talk, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's us.
NPR. And so, what did you do to this car after you bought it? Did you have to fix it up?
Yeah, it did not run when we bought it. We bought it 3 years ago in Paris. This car was built in 1912. It had not been driven, so we spent 3 years rebuilding the engine, disassembling it, and making it go.
It's an extraordinarily beautiful road.
Go get him! There's been a theft.
Somebody stole it.
Oh my God, that guy stole the car.